Our next guest is a special friend of mine. He is the host of the $1.98 Beauty Show. Welcome, please, a crazy guy, Rip Taylor.
Job, hello. This is it? Say that. The Tonight Show will love that. Wait a minute. Dolly Parton has a new single out. Her bra strap broke. She's wearing a new cross-your-knee bra. Now, wait a minute. I went to this girl. I said to this girl, "Are you game?" She said, "Yeah," so I shot her. Folks, I don't dance. This is it. A woman shot her husband with a bow and arrow. Didn't want to wake the kids. Wait a minute. Here's something.
Get ready for Jeff Ross. Do you have thick skin? Let's all come together.
Hello, my emotional support humans. How's everybody doing? All right. This is Thick Skin with Jeff Ross. I'm Jeff Ross. It's my cousin Ed.
Hello.
Ed's prepared a great show for us. It's just me and Ed. I like the stripped down podcast. You know, I don't want to research a guest all the time. Sometimes I just want to talk to you or talk about whatever we want.
We're hanging, bud.
Call friends. We're going to call my cousin Shireen a little bit later. She just had a baby. So we have a new family member to celebrate. And we have some touchy subjects prepared. And we have a very special roast in peace this time. We lost a comedian. I didn't know him well, but I loved him. Rip Taylor. And with no further ado, I want to call up one of his dear friends and offer him a big hug over the phone. Johnny Knoxville.
Hello?
Hey, bud.
Hey.
Are you in the mountain yet?
No, not yet.
All right. So we're here with my cousin Ed, who you've met before, I think.
How you doing, bud?
Yeah. Hey, Ed.
Not to be confused with my cousin Mikey, who you once put baby powder in his asshole.
That was an accident.
Maybe he put baby powder in your asshole. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, pal. You know, we're all here. We pay tribute to people we care about on this show, and I only met Rip Taylor one time, but I knew he was a big part of the Jackass family, and when we heard the news about Rip, we thought we would call you.
Oh, yeah. He was a big part of the Jackass family, and it was quite a blow losing him. And I can't wait to hear what you're going to say.
I met him one time at Buddy Hackett's house, and my friend Kai is very, very friendly guy, and he went up to Rip Taylor and he said, "Hey, Rip, where do you get your?" He didn't know what to ask him, so he goes, "Hey, Rip, where do you get your confetti from?" And Rip goes, "Cleveland," and then he looks at me and goes, "What the fuck else should I say?" He was a nice guy. What was he like to work with?
He was always on, to the point where, we had cameras following him around on the first movie all the time. And my cousin Nate, who was filming him, said, after a while, I just wanted to give him a break for a second. And Rip made a funny comment, and Nate wasn't filming, and he got incensed. He's like, "Hello, Louise, I'm giving you go." So Nate started filming again immediately.
Yeah, he loved the camera, huh?
Loved it.
For folks out there who don't know who Rip is, Rip Taylor, he got famous basically for being a fun guy who throws around confetti and glitter. He played himself in movies like Wayne's World 2 and, of course, the Jackass films. What else should people know, Ed?
He had a
The
trade.
$1.98 beauty pageant he was on.
That's right.
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
That's right.
He was known as the Prince of Pandemonium and the Master of Mayhem. The King of Camp and Confetti. Trademark was his toupee and his handlebar mustache.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with no further ado, with special guest Johnny Knoxville, it's time for this week's Roast in Peace. Okay, here we go. Rip Taylor. We're here to pay respect to Rip Taylor.
Oh, jeez.
His ashes were shot out of a confetti cannon. Everyone loved Rip Taylor, well, except janitors and carpet cleaners. Rip was the world's greatest litter bug. He was the perfect burlesque host because if one of the girls ever forgot their pasties, all they had to do was dip their tits in Rip's bucket and they were show ready. In Rip's case, his handlebar mustache was actually used as a handlebar for his boyfriends. Did he fall in love with anybody on set, PJ?
No, I don't remember any hot set romances. I tried, though.
Well, I can't believe he didn't outlive more members of the Jackass crew, quite frankly. Rip Taylor wore so much turquoise he looked like a walrus that retired to Arizona. Rip Taylor actually holds a world record for the most paper cuts of any one person. Rip served in the Korean War. With soldiers like him, it's no wonder why we lost that war.
Oh, come on.
Come on, I heard at his funeral they're going to throw his ashes at people.
Hello, Louise.
Well, rest in pieces of paper. R.I.P. R.I.P. Taylor.
Here's the last joke. Get ready, boys. Big finish. One out of... No, I'll let you know when. It's longer than that. You sitting upside down. Wait a minute, here now. 1 out of every 4 Americans is mentally ill. Now take a look at the people you're with. If they look okay, then you're it.
Another great legendary comedian gone. How many
We love you, Rip.
How many Jackass movies was he in?
He was in every one. He was in 3.
He was in more. That's pretty incredible. Was there anybody else that did 3 cameos like that? I think I did 1, and that was in the outtakes.
Yeah. You roasting us how we shot was amazing.
I know. It was like playing poker in the dark with mentally disabled people.
Yeah. He goes, you guys shoot a movie like it's a pickup basketball game. It wasn't even a roast. He was just like kind of confused what was going on.
Yeah, all I knew was like 2 a.m. and I had like skateboard tracks on my chest. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Well, I know you're in the hills, and I know you're in the car, so we won't keep you, Johnny. But okay. You're a real pal, man, and just giving you a big hug on the loss of your Jackass family.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. I love you, buddy. Good talking to you.
Lots of love, pal. Be well. What a cool guy, Johnny Knoxville. Known him a long time.
That was awesome. I love that you can just call these people. This makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Who else from my childhood are you just going to, like, introduce me to?
All right. Can we get Mean Joe Green? Who were the big Miami? No, he wasn't. He was Pittsburgh.
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino. Let's get Dan Marino on the
line. If we get Dan Marino, it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely have to take a Xanax.
I don't know if I ever met Dan Marino.
Oh, my gosh. You'd know if you met Dan Marino, that's for sure. No offense to Johnny Knoxville, but you get Dan Marino in here.
I know Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I know the guy in Dallas.
Tony Romo.
Yeah. I met Joe Namath a few times. All the big quarterbacks, but can't help you with Dan Marino.
We gambled with Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann. We did. Did we win?
No.
Where were we?
In Mississippi.
What a life. What a life.
Oh,
Speaking of states that start with an M, I'll be in Prior Lake, Minnesota next week bumping mics. Come on out.
On the 19th.
I'm getting in a day early, so if anybody knows anything fun that I should do on my night off, like go see Prince's house or something.
I mean, that sounds fun. I feel like you should do that if it's close enough.
I'm up for some recommendations and invitations. Hit up roastmastergeneral@gmail.com.
Yeah, and then that's the Mystic Lake Casino. And the next day, you're going to be in Winnipeg at the Club Regent Theater. And then on November 23rd, you're going to be in Bensalem, Pennsylvania at the Parks Casino.
That one's like almost sold out.
Of course it is. That's your hood, man.
Yeah.
Those people love you over there.
All the
crazy Philly people.
Yeah, I guess so. Pennsylvania's good to bumping mics.
No batteries in there. The Philly people, they threw batteries at Santa Claus.
So in the next few weeks, it's Minnesota, Winnipeg, and Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Jesus, Hattel makes me do these fucking casinos in the middle of nowhere.
But you guys are going to Texas in January. The 16th, you'll be in Austin at the Paramount Theater. The 17th, San Antonio at the Majestic. And the 18th at Houston at the Revention Music Center.
All right.
That's going to be fun, man.
Bumping mics all over the country. Our shows last week in New York were so much fun.
I heard you guys brought Gilbert.
Gilbert surprised the audience at the end of our show and came on stage, and I sat him on a stool. The crowd went bananas.
Oh, man, as they do for him.
And he was so funny, but then I sat him down on a stool, and I pulled a joint out and stuck it in his mouth, and he hasn't smoked pot in over 40 years.
You peer pressured him.
No, he was way into it. Not only was he so into it, and he was so funny once he was stoned.
Yeah. One puff, okay? Don't fall off the stool. That would be really helpful.
I'll probably start coughing.
That's all right.
That's always the first.
If things get really bad, just scream Taco Bell, and we'll go there. There you go.
All right. You ready, buddy?
Look at this. Whoa! Hey, don't bogart that joint. Wow, he hasn't been high in decades. This is great. Look at him really fucking inhaling that. Here we go.
This is what's been missing from my life.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
What the fuck was I not doing? I'm gonna get on crack cocaine.
Oh no! Oh fuck no!
Gilbert, you're already funnier.
That after the show, he was just sitting in the massage chair backstage for a while Dave and I did our meet and greet with the fans out in the lobby. And then I walked Gilbert out at the end of the night and got him stoned again. And then 2 days later, he called me to just take a walk. And we met on Fifth Avenue. He walked from his place, and I walked from my place in New York. We met and just walked around the village and smoked pot. And now he's in Paris for the opening of a photography exhibit that his sister celebrating her work. And she was a famous photographer, Arlene. It's
Arlene Gottfried.
Yeah, now I remember Arlene Gottfried. And so he said to Dara, his wife, on the way to the airport, like, "Is Jeff still in town?" She's like, no, he left yesterday. And he's like, well, then who's going to get me stoned? He started saying stoned finally because the whole night when I first got him stoned, he kept calling it grass.
Well, he hadn't smoked in how long?
Since they called it grass. He was in his 20s, you know, when he last smoked. Oh, so it hit him hard that Cali stank that I smuggled from California to New York.
Man, it's not the same weed as it was 40 years ago. That's the crazier part.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That must have been a blast. Good for you. It's a mitzvah. He probably needs it.
Yeah, he probably does. I don't think he needs it. He has a happy life, and he likes to have a glass of wine. But I feel like it might have unleashed something in him.
Well, it's a peaceful, calming thing. You know, I feel a lot of people need it. You know, once you get older, it's good for your arthritis. It's good for, it's glaucoma. I don't even know if he has it, but he's squinting all the time. So
right. That's great. Well, shout out to Gilbert for crashing the Bumping Mike show the other day. That was really, really fun. And
also, Bumping Mike's vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
You could buy it on Amazon. That shit's cool. And, I don't know, today was, Grammy nominations or Grammy voting for all the Grammy guys?
We're not going to get nominated, but
it's good to.
It's pretty cool that Netflix submitted us for a Grammy nomination.
That is really cool.
For the Bumping Mike's vinyl. I think you can get it at Amazon and Target, maybe.
Yeah, it's 3 records.
A 3-record set. It's so rock star. It's crazy.
Man, I love it.
I wrote the liner. I wrote the liner notes, and Dave even wrote a few sentences. And yeah, man, Bumping Mike's. It's a way of life. Shout out to our Bumping Mike's friend. It's his birthday. Should we do the birthday shout outs?
Yeah, let's do the birthday shout outs, and then we'll call Shireen.
All right. Artie Lang, born in 1967. Artie, still alive.
Yeah, man. Nothing. I feel like he's unkillable.
Artie Lang, a survivor. Here's a guy who did everything. One of the funniest guys in the world, and a dear pal. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Union, New Jersey. What helps youth helps Union. Artie Lang, my fellow Union, New Jerseyite. Known him a long time. In and out of jails and rehabs and TV shows and podcasts. Somehow he is this sort of guy that comes and goes. I'm so happy. I know my partner David Tell was really stressed and worried about Artie when he was having his issues, but it's his birthday. He lived to another birthday, so happy birthday, Artie Lang.
Dirty Work's one of my favorite movies. Yeah. I love that movie.
Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang in Dirty Work.
Yeah.
Dirty Work is what also Artie's nurse calls changing his diaper these days. Artie Lang defies science. Not that he's alive after doing all those drugs, but because he's still fat after doing all those drugs. And we love you, Artie.
David Lee Roth.
How old is he? 1950.
65, dude.
Wow.
David Lee Roth is a senior citizen.
That is crazy.
How crazy is that?
Wow. At 65, he's more hot for soup than he is hot for teacher. Well, at least we know he can be his own emergency medical technician whenever the time comes.
Do you remember when he did that?
He was an EMT, right?
He became an ambulance driver just because he wanted to a decade ago. It was so ridiculous.
That is really cool.
Giving back. And a Bumping Mike's fan, by the way. I mean, he gave you guys a shout out on Rogan, remember?
I remember that. That was fun. Well, happy birthday, David Lee Roth, one of the great Jewish rock stars of all time. Who else?
Eleanor Roosevelt. She passed away in 1962, but today would have been her 115th birthday.
What?
Yeah, you believe that. Julie was Eleanor Roosevelt, my wonderful betrothed in Historical Roast.
She was wonderful.
We dressed her up.
Eleanor Roosevelt. Possibly the greatest first lady that also had her own first lady.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Eleanor was actually her middle name. Her first name was... That was supposed to be a Chewbacca noise, but, you know, I'm not good at that. Who else is having a birthday?
It's Fred Trump's birthday.
Fred Trump?
Fred Trump.
The president's dad?
The president's father would have been 94 years old, but he
Wow.
passed away in 1999.
Donald celebrates his dad's birthday every year by throwing his dad's money out of the windows of Trump Tower. Fred Trump. I wonder if he ever could have imagined he spawned the last American president.
Oh, correction. He would have been 114 years old.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Oh, good old Fred Trump. Gave away his money. From death comes life.
That's right. We have a new family member. Our cousin gave birth to a little cousin. Let's call our cousin Shireen, Ed.
Cousin Shireen.
Hello.
Hi, cuz.
What's up, Shireen?
Hey, I heard you had a baby.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a baby and I've got a big kid. She's brushing her teeth all herself tonight.
Oh, that makes us so happy.
Oh, Leah, brushing your teeth. You look great. Good job, darling.
Hi,
Are
Leah.
you gonna brush the baby's teeth?
Oh,
Are you gonna brush the baby's teeth? Yeah.
that's so cute. So what'd you have? You had a baby girl named what?
What's that?
You had a baby girl named Anina?
Yeah, I had a baby girl, named her Anina. It's a family name.
It's beautiful.
How much does she weigh?
Oh, she weighs a whole pound less than her big sister. She came out 7'11".
7'11", a true Lift Schultz. She's already hitting the
She came
late.
out with a hot dog and a slushy, Jeff.
Open all night. Open all night.
Oh, that is so
my
great.
vagina was open all night, that's for sure.
Man, that vagina must be.
She's half of me.
Well, we're so
Hey,
happy.
I can sit on my butt again, so we're in a good place.
Oh, congrats.
Oh, great. We can't wait to meet her in person, but we wanted to say hi on the phone. Can we hear her
Who
goo
have you got in there, Jeff?
It's just me and Ed.
That's nice.
Here he is, look.
I miss my West Coast family.
Oh, well, bring that baby out here for a visit. Hi, Leah.
Absolutely. Bring your butts East Coast for a visit.
Does the baby make noise? Can we hear her?
Let's see. Anina, you going to say something for the people?
We're so happy. One more.
She squeaks. She's a quiet baby.
She's got a full head of hair. Oh.
One more member of the Emotional Support Human Network. Little baby.
She's going to need the emotional support network. A family of four is bringing her up in a little bit of craziness.
Yeah. Hi, baby.
You going to say hi, Nina?
Hi, baby.
You going to squeak?
Squeeze her or something so she makes some noise.
Pinch her.
Isn't she...
anything.
Hold on, I'll pinch the big one for you. I'm sorry.
All right, ladies. You're like a little dog toy. Don't cry, Leah.
Oh.
I didn't pinch that hard. I'm sorry.
Oh. We love you, Leah.
Oh, Leah. Oh.
That's backfired.
This worked out great.
Harden up.
Come on, Leah. You need thick skin. Life is hard, babe.
Give Anina a kiss. There you go.
Leah, can we talk to Leah for a second? Leah, look, it's me and Ed.
Hello.
There he is.
Hi, Leah. I love you. I miss you.
Yeah. We miss you. Do you like having a baby sister?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. That's good.
What do you think of Anina? She's good? She's a good kid? We'll keep her?
Oh,
Leah, what do you...
she's doing on your jacket. A shredder.
Leah, what are you going to be for Halloween?
A family, a super. Daddy's gonna be a Superman, and Mommy's gonna be Supergirl, and then Leah's gonna be Supergirl, and I'm gonna be Supergirl.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Super family.
A family of supers.
I love that.
Great.
Well, trick or treat, girls. We'll see you later.
Can you say bye? Give Jeff a big kiss. Give Eddie a big kiss.
Mwah.
I love you guys.
Bye now.
Give...
Congratulations.
Oh, she waved at you guys.
I saw it.
Love you.
Love you
Love
guys.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
What a bunch of cutie pies.
So fun.
Man.
It's great having a podcast.
Just reconnect, call up your friends, hanging loose.
Get to talk about stuff that maybe other shows don't even want to talk about.
That's our thing.
Ed, I think it's time. It's time for touchy subjects.
Oh, yeah.
Touchy subjects.
What's first, Ed?
Well, just like most of our touchy subjects, this one comes from Florida.
What's wrong with you Floridians?
I mean, what's right with these Floridians? They're having a great time down there. It's party central.
What happened?
All right, so this guy from Florida, Timothy Kepke, tried to get an alligator to bite his arm, and it wouldn't do it, and then he made the alligator drink a beer.
Wait, what?
He was drinking with his friend. This was happening in late August in Palm City, Florida, and his friend caught an alligator with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And they were like drinking and getting hammered around the gator, and they were playing with it. And he tried to get him to bite it. The gator wouldn't bite his arm.
Why did he want the gator to bite his arm?
He's an idiot. There isn't much, I'm not sticking up for the guy.
What is this, homemade tattoo removal?
And so when the alligator wouldn't bite him, he decided to get the alligator drunk, and he poured a bunch of beer in his mouth.
Wow.
And then the alligator flipped out and went crazy. These guys all put it on video, and it has been taken down off of Twitter, but they were arrested.
What is a crime there? Endangering an animal?
Animal abuse.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting an animal drunk.
You think alligators like the beer or not?
I imagine they don't like the bubbles. I would think the bubbles is where you get it wrong. One time I put a little whiskey on my finger, and I let Rambo lick it, and he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
Well, it throws off their...
They're not supposed to be drinking. I mean, we're not supposed to be drinking. Let's face it.
Well, I brought this up one time about wanting to get Luna stoned, a dog stoned.
Mm-hmm.
And someone wrote to me saying that was wrong, that dogs can't...
choose when they want to smoke.
Yeah,
if they want to be high.
You're getting them stoned. It's not consensual. They're not consenting to get fucked up. And I'm like, they're also not consenting to go on a 4-hour walk in 90-degree heat. but they seem to enjoy that. Like they're not consenting to anything except licking their own assholes. So I don't know. If you want to get an alligator drunk, is that so bad?
I mean, I think alligators are probably better not drunk.
They already act like drunks, right?
They're already laying down in the sun all day, eating puppies and shit. We don't need to get them hammered, too. Wow. I remember we used to get a dog stoned in high school. My buddy's dog loved it. He would sit in the rotation, and he would bark if we went past him and didn't let him smoke with us.
Wow. How many times have we talked about alligators on this show?
I don't know.
Not enough. Not enough is the answer. All right. And shout out to your stone dog it's probably dead.
I mean, it was 20 years ago.
What's next?
All right. More Florida. But this one's kind of an interesting story. A man in Florida, his name was DeAndre Somerville. He got 10 days in jail for sleeping through jury duty. You believe that?
Wow.
Could you imagine going to jail for 10 days?
Hey, dude, what are you in for? Being sleepy. Jeez.
Yeah, but he
slept through jury duty, and some Florida judge said, "No, you're not allowed." Was this his first offense, or?
Yeah, no, he had a clean record. And they wanted to make an example of him.
Oh, well, they did. We're all talking about him.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's got a little bit. The internet went crazy when they heard about this, and they got real mad, and everyone was screaming at the judge, and he got a little bit of redemption. And the judge said that he had time served, and they gave him probation for a year. They took that away, and wiped his record clean for the offense. But meanwhile, in Palm Beach County, where this went down, 30% of all jurors don't show up.
Is that right?
Yeah.
In Palm Beach?
Yeah.
Well, they're all at the massage parlors. They're all stuck in traffic behind the president's motorcade. By the way, I'm going to be down there soon.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be there in December.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing the Improv. We should get this guy to the house. We should offer him DeAndre a free ticket.
Yeah, man. Tell him he'll probably sleep through my show, too. What's next, Ed?
All right. You're going to love this, Jeff. You're going to love this. This is from CNN. Owning a dog can reduce your risk of dying early by 24%, a new study shows. And it's not even that. It can go higher if in certain situations. The dogs give you a reason to live.
Really?
Yeah. It's beautiful, man.
I don't see how anything that darts into traffic and eats its own shit can help you live longer.
Well, the Mount Sinai endocrinologist, Dr. Carolyn Kramer, says our analysis found having a dog is actually protective against dying of any cause.
Really?
Yeah. No,
why? It just makes you feel good?
It makes you feel good. They actually look out for you. They can tell when you're not feeling well, when you're sad, and you want to live to take care of the dog. It gives you something to live for. And also, this is an endocrinologist who said that. That's someone who specializes in diabetes care. There's a lot of dogs that can smell when your sugar starts to drop and they start to bark. My mom's dog was able to do this.
Wow.
Saved her life many times. And if your sugar starts to drop, your sweat smells differently, and the dog can tell, and it'll start barking until you eat some sugar and you right yourself.
Wow.
So there are service dogs for diabetics. And that's just specific. Apparently, the meta-analysis found to have an even bigger benefit for people who already experienced a heart attack or a stroke, because it calms them down, because their blood pressure isn't pumping as much, because just having a dog around is calming.
Wow. I wonder how many people are listening to this right now and they're just throwing their cats out the window. Fuck cats. Is that the...
Cats
can't get some research? Owning a cat makes you...
knit sweaters. Loneliness and social isolation are strong risk factors of premature death as well. And owning a dog can help alleviate that. This is a very interesting article. You got to go check it out. It's on CNN.
I love my dog so much, Luna. Like, it kills me when I have to go to work at night and leave her in the house by herself. Like sometimes I think I just want to like poke my own eyes out so I can take her everywhere.
Or just get glasses.
I got glasses. What's next, Ed? Shout out to the dogs and the dog owners. That's great news.
That is really cool. I love that. The New York Times has reported Dick's Sporting Goods destroyed $5 million worth of assault rifles. Edward Stack, the chief executive of Dick's Sporting Goods, said he destroyed $5 million in military-style assault rifles while evaluating if they're even going to continue selling guns at all in their 720 stores. They actually stopped selling guns completely in 100 stores.
Dick's Sporting Goods destroyed $5 million worth of merchandise to make a point.
Yeah.
And not just to make a point, to actually do something for gun safety.
Yeah, no, they really did. I mean, they got a bunch of guns off.
So they couldn't
hit the street.
They were selling these for years and years and years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that their business grew, not just because of guns, to over 700 stores. And then at a certain point, they go, we've made enough money on this shit. We're going to take a $5 million hit.
Yeah.
We've come to see the error of our ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this. I think it's good to applaud Dick's Sporting Goods as opposed to reprimand them for having sold those guns in the first place.
The CEO, Edward, and his wife, they'd been struggling with whether they were going to continue to sell guns or not, because they found out the Parkland shooter,
yeah,
he had bought a gun at Dick's Sporting Goods. Not the one he used in the shooting, but he still owned a gun that he got at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Right.
And so they're saying without background checks and stuff like that, I mean, it's so easy to buy a gun, especially at these department stores, and they're making a stand.
So what did the owner of Dick's say about this?
Edwards said that so many people say to him, if we do what you want to do, it's not going to stop these mass shootings. And his response is, you're probably right. It won't. But if we do these things, but if we do these things, it'll save one life. Don't you think it's worth it?
Yeah, man, of course.
He's the coolest. I think this is
cool.
great.
Shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm going to buy all my ammo there from now on. Jeez. Wow. Did you see the Joker movie?
I did see the Joker movie.
So cool.
I just took my makeup off before I came to work.
Yeah.
He's so thin. What'd you think?
I loved it. I loved seeing all the comics in it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea that he was a comedian or wanted to be a comedian.
Who was all in it? Sam Morrill.
Sam Morril tells a joke. Gary Goldman tells a joke.
Chris Redd.
Chris Redd introduces Gary Goldman. Mark Maron. Has a great part. At, what was it called? JoJo's Comedy Club or something? Pogo's.
Which was John Wayne Gacy's clown name.
Pogo.
Yeah, so it's a weird homage to that.
Wow, I missed that.
Yeah. Which is terrifying.
I did tweet out that I was not going to work Pogo's anymore after seeing the Joker, and Mark Maron did tweet me back saying that it was a new green room and they have new management and the food's pretty good. So shout out to Mark Maron for a clutch role in there with Robert De Niro. That was
He just
cool.
came in out of nowhere.
It was great. It was great. It was fun seeing the comics. Brian Callen has a cameo in there.
Yeah.
And it was a cool movie, man. I don't know. It was...
I really liked it. I went in thinking I wasn't going to like it, and I really liked it.
I'm not even sure how it affected me, but I definitely felt the heaviness of Gotham. I saw it in the rain with Ian... Fidance in New York, who's a comedian who had an extra ticket and asked me to come along, and it's selling out everywhere. And as soon as you leave the theater, we saw it on 2nd Avenue in that old Yiddish theater, converted into a movie theater, and you walk out and it's like dusk in New York, and you feel the heaviness of Gotham.
Yeah, man. That's super cool. Was there a cop in your theater?
No.
I think they only did that the first 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, no, it felt pretty safe. I didn't even think about it once I was in there. Plus, I probably had enough popcorn on my lap to stop a bullet.
I mean, any movie that scares the army into telling us that we got to be careful when we go see it is crazy. I love it, man. Comic book movies should have a little teeth. It's good for it.
Right. It was cool. I hope they make another Joker movie, and I want to play the Riddler. Who gets to play the Riddler? Have they done a Riddler movie?
They did. Jim Carrey did it back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But that movie was really bad, and so they're going to get to... I imagine he's going to come back. Penguin's going to be in the next movie. It looks like it's going to be Jonah Hill, but it's not confirmed.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I really wanted Henry Zabrowski to get the Penguin. I was fighting for that pretty hard, but, I have no say in anything.
Right. Henry would be a great Penguin.
In real life and the character.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's it for Touchy Subjects. Thank you, Ed.
Absolutely, man. You were a part of something really cool this week, because today is World Mental Health Awareness Day.
Right.
And Comedy Central and HBO have launched mental health awareness initiatives. And you made this really cool video with Yamanika and Mateo Lane.
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube and on the Comedy Central social media pages. Basically, the concept is that we all have to be there for each other.
Yeah, man.
Shows me on stage by myself, and as I'm performing, the audience starts coming in, and I kind of come out of my funk into a room full of love. And shout out to Yamanika Saunders and Mateo Lane, who were part of the campaign as well. I think the whole thing really, and I mean, at least for me, and I think for a lot of the people who work at Comedy Central, are getting behind this mental health awareness, these initiatives, is because of Brody Stevens, who passed away less than a year ago. We all loved him, and this was his community.
Yeah.
And he killed himself. Nobody really saw it coming, but nobody was surprised. And it's good to check on people, even if you just heard, hey, I wonder how so-and-so's doing, or maybe if you worry, you tell a friend, and then they go check on that person. And it just happened to me. I just went to New York, and on my way to New York, somebody said, hey, check on so-and-so. I heard, that person's been rough, and I did, and that person was fine. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a friendly meetup or a phone call or a text.
I actually just got a call yesterday from a comedian buddy who I was real worried about. He got in some trouble, and he's doing great. He's got a new apartment, new job. It's nice. He gave me a shout out because he knew I was worried about him when he was messed up. And
That's
so
good.
It's good to hear. It's good. I gotta call him back, but it means a lot. You have to. We're in this together. That's
Call
what
your
this whole
friends.
thing's about.
Call your friends. Life is hard.
Yeah, man. And you also did this really cool.
And by the
panel.
way, my grandfather used to say a little bit goes a long way. A little note, a text, a phone call, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you don't want to bring up sad things in people's lives, but it always feels good to know that someone cares. Like if you know that someone's like dad is sick or something like that, next time you see him, ask him how he is. Even if it's not good, they'll be happy that you cared enough to ask.
Hey, when I heard that they arrested 2 of Rudy Giuliani's clients today, I called him right away to make sure he was doing okay. And he's fine. He's going to be okay. So a little bit goes a long way.
Absolutely.
He was very happy to hear from me. Not as happy as Johnny Knoxville and my cousin Shireen, but we had a good time. What else, Ed?
Oh, man. Well, I think this is the perfect time to exploit our emotional support human shirts.
On our merch page?
On our merch page. You can go to roastmastergeneral.com and click on the merch page, and you can pick up your emotional support human shirt. They're cool. They're big. They're red. I got one on my chest right now.
And they say thick skin with Jeff Ross on the back.
Yeah, I love these things. I get a lot of compliments. I sold one in the street the other day. I forgot to tell you.
That's so
I was
funny.
wearing it. Someone high-fived me and made me tell him where to get it. And I told him JeffRossMerch.com.
I love that.
Yeah. Hopefully he starts listening to the podcast, too.
All right.
And then you can also get other merch there. All the Jeff Ross stuff you need. What's the slogan? I'm offended by people who are always offended.
Coffee mugs.
Yeah,
and
coffee
t-shirts.
mugs. Yeah, man. It's great.
I want a t-shirt. I don't even have one.
Right over in the next room.
Oh. All right.
Pick up your Bumping Mike's vinyl on Amazon or Target. And Bumping Mike's is still on tour. Hopefully never stopping. And October 19th, Prior Lake, Minnesota at the Mystic Lake Casino. October 20th, Winnipeg, Canada, the Club Regent Theater. On November 23rd, Bensalem, Pennsylvania, the Parks Casino.
My aunt and uncle are coming to that one.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh, man, we got to call ahead and make sure there's some Jim's cheesesteaks in the room for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. January 16th in Austin, Texas. They'll be at the Paramount Theater. January 17th, San Antonio, Texas, the Majestic. And the 18th, Houston, Texas, the Revention Music Center. That'd be a fun little, if you guys want to follow Bumping Mics, like to the Grateful Dead in Texas, that'd be a good little 2-hour
come
trip.
to every show. In Huntington last week, we had a lot of people who came 2 nights in a row. And the reason I think is not just that they're super fans, especially Dave has these super comedy fans, but no 2 shows are exactly alike. Our shows are like snowflakes, so people want to see different shows. I mean, Gilbert got stoned one night, and another night I had a birthday cake, and you never know.
Yeah.
Our accountant Harvey showed up one night. And Dave's mom was there one night.
Dave's mom came?
On the Saturday in Huntington, and man, we had fun. I went up with a wireless microphone up the stairs, up to the balcony, found her.
Oh, my God.
And gave her the mic, and she made a little speech about Dave, and Dave kept interrupting her, and I kept making her start over so that Dave would interrupt her, and it was beautiful. She was really sweet.
Oh, man.
How's your other podcast going?
The Brighter Side. It's going really good, man. I love doing it. It's over on the Last Podcast Network. I host it with Amber Nelson and our fellow producer, Eddie Ewing. Always hopping on that show with us. It's just it's a cynic's look at optimism. And it's kind of what we do over here. It's just, reminding everyone, no matter how bad things get, there is a silver lining to everything.
Right.
And we strive really hard to find it.
That's
and
great.
Some really tough subjects.
I'm a big believer in silver linings.
Also, you got some solo shows coming up at the West Palm Beach Improv in December. You got 5 shows over 3 days, December 13th through 15th.
I haven't done that in a while. That'll be fun.
You gonna stop by Mar-a-Lago? Probably
not there, but maybe the other place.
Oh, okay.
Trump International. They
Oh,
have
I
a
thought you were talking about the massage parlor.
Good lunch buffet.
On Twitter, you can find us at Thickskin Cast, Instagram, Thickskin with Jeff Ross. Also, Real Jeffrey Ross on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Eddie Tunes on Instagram and Eddie Tunes _ on Twitter. That's it, man.
All right, everybody. Now it's time for our new closing segment. This is Final Thoughts.
Rip Taylor.
Dead.
Alligators in Florida.
Ugh. Drunk.
David Lee Roth.
Alive.
Fred Trump.
Dead.
Artie Lang.
Unbelievable that he's alive and makes me so happy. He doesn't need a nose job. He needs a career job.
Sleeping through jury duty and going to jail for 10 days.
Sounds like a week off for me, and I would trade places with that guy in a second.
Owning a dog makes you live longer.
Yeah, but how is it for the dog?
Destroying $5 million worth of assault rifles.
Whatever it takes to go see the Joker in peace.
And Eleanor Roosevelt.
I fucked her. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening, my emotional support humans. I really do love you. I really do get a lot out of this. I appreciate your support. We love hearing from you. So write us a note, put a comment on the iTunes page, or throw us an email.
YouTube, baby.
Yeah, we're up on YouTube. And life is hard, but don't worry. We're getting through it together. Love you.